Hey everyone, Dr. Baron Grutter here. So, this video is just going to talk about making a fixed retainer, and I'll kind of explain a little background on this. So, this isn't a technique I've actually ever used. Recently, a good friend, Wally Renee, posted a video, kind of a technique to how to make one of these fixed retainers. And so I didn't actually watch the video. I just saw the kind of screenshots, the before and after, and figured out, I kind of knew what he was doing. I thought it was a great idea. It had never occurred to me. But I thought, that's kind of cool. And I saw a lot of people start doing it. And great, awesome. So no need to make a video on this. So I just kind of left it alone and kept about my way. But then just like, I think it was Thursday night, today's Saturday night. So Thursday night, I saw one of my friends comment on this thread. And the post was a few weeks old. So I was curious, I wonder what he was posting about. And I read his comment. And he'd run into an issue. So that made me think, I wonder if he's doing it the way I thought he was doing it. So I went ahead and watched the video and I thought, oh, okay, I know what the issue is he's experiencing. So it doesn't take away from the technique because there's ways that don't require what I'm going to show. Okay, there are ways that he addresses in his kind of comments, kind of how to smooth things out, some of the issues. But I also think I would do it differently. So the way I'm going to show you takes a little bit longer, but I'm also going to show you kind of why I think this makes at least for me it works a little better. I'm also going to link in the video. I'll probably put up in the top right corner or something, or maybe at this spot. I'll put a little link to a video I've had before. It's been up for a few years. It's how to make a denture tooth, or how to make a tooth for a Pontic site. Because let's pretend this was a fixed retainer for an upper arch, and you wanted to actually make this fixed retainer with a tooth for like a missing lateral or something to hold for an implant site in the future. So the reason I bring that up is because that same person had also recently asked on that group, I missed his thread about that, about how to do that. So when we were talking about this solution I had, he said, hey, did you also see my other post about how to make, add a tooth to one of these? So rather than making a whole long video about two different videos or a video about that, I'm just going to link to how to make a denture tooth or a false tooth. And then you just, at that point, hit the, you just select both things and hit combine. I guess I can't show it here, but if you select two different objects, you can combine them. Maybe I'll kind of show a tidbit of that, but anyway, again, just watch the video in the link in the top right if that helps. So let's move right along. So the first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to do a little bit backwards from his video because I want to show you. It's just going to save time. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my pads. So I've got the select on. You could either just use a slider bar to make it smaller, or you can use the bracket buttons on your keyboard to go larger and smaller. So I'm going to make some decent pads on here. Oops, I'm on sculpt. I apologize. I mean to be on select. So the same idea, a little pad here, a little pad here, and a little pad here. And when I'm done with this, I want to point something out about this model that makes it, I don't want to say unique, but particularly important for this technique or the way I'm going to approach it. So, all right, so I've got my pads. So in Wally's technique, he actually made the bar that crossed them, and then he made the pads. And it doesn't matter which order you do it. I'm doing it in this order for a reason, basically so I can undo it. Because what he does here is let's just do this quickly, connects everything like this. Okay, and now that's why it's such a simple, quick technique, why he talks about it's a 30-second design. Because first you hit B to just make this nice and smooth. Okay, so you get this, looks pretty. And now when you hit the D button or extrude, okay, and you can make it, okay, how thick do I want this? I want this, let's just go big. Let's go say 1 millimeter. Okay, so now it's nice and thick, not likely to break. Well, the problem is in this arch, it's fairly narrow. I mean, it's the lower arch, going to be more narrow than the upper, but in general, it's it's got a nice tight curve to it. And look what happens in here. Okay, you get really thin here. So there are ways to smooth that out, to use the sculpt tools, or to do various things to try to smooth that out. But still, these pads on the central incisors are thicker than the canines, and the canines are what's really going to get the most lateral force trying to break off. And I don't know, to me, I want it to be universally thick. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z because I'm just going to undo everything. And that's why I highlighted in the order that I did, because now I'm going to go ahead and hit B to smooth these out. And now I'm going to hit, as Wally recommended, to hit Y to separate this. I'm trying to think, separate, yeah, it's under the edit function, hit Y. And so now we've got these individual surfaces here, okay? So I can go ahead and I can actually hide the rest of the model. And now I can just go ahead and I want to select all of these. I'm gonna hit Control A. That's like in any document, you hit Control A, it highlights all the text or all the objects. Now if I hit D to extrude, notice that it's not all in the same direction. It's all constant. It tries to basically find an average for this whole part and extrude this. Let's just really go crazy with this. Let's hit 5 millimeters. See how they're all coming at each other? You know they're all gonna be uniform thickness. So let's just stick with that 1 millimeter in thickness. And if you don't think you need 1 millimeter, it's fine, but I think for this video, it works, it makes sense. And so now I'm gonna hit OK. And so now I've got these different pads. I'm gonna hit Escape so that everything is unhighlighted. If I don't hit Escape, these undersides are still highlighted. So hit Escape. So now I've got these 6 different pads. And now I want to bring them together. So you could go back and now highlight the embrasure spots and extrude those, and I'm not gonna do that. Because the other thing I don't love about that technique is all of the bridges, they end up going in the embrasures, and it might be helpful for indexing, but it worries me about plaque and stuff. So instead, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna hit Select. I'm gonna increase my crease angle threshold, just way up here. What that does is as I select, you see how it doesn't come off of the side? It doesn't get onto this part or anywhere. It basically means if there's a change, a crease in the surface beyond so many degrees, it won't fall off. So that's what this is. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit select again. Now I'm not gonna do it so big. I'm just gonna click and click. Now I can come up to edit and I can say tube handle. I wish there was a keyboard shortcut, there isn't. So there's that. I click accept. Now I hit escape because I don't want that still highlighted. I hit S to select again. So that's where this technique takes a little more time because I got to do this each time. Edit, tube handle, okay. Escape, S to select. Click, click, edit, tube handle, okay. Escape, S to select. To edit tube handle. And no, I'm not going to speed up this video. I'm just sorry, have to wait and watch me because that would take more time to edit this video. I don't like editing videos. Oh, see, I got a fatal error because I forgot to hit escape. This part is still highlighted. My bad. But that shows you why you got to do that escape and then S again to reselect. Edit tube handle, and there we go. Hit it, okay. Hit escape, and so now we have, if you want to go ahead and bring this up, here is our fixed retainer. Now it's kind of bent off here and here and here. You do run the risk that it could impinge like this little area right there. Not really too worried about that. You could go ahead and use your sculpt tools to edit that and whatnot. Again, we're gonna have cement in here. I'm not too worried about that. And honestly, most of the time you use fixed retainers, the teeth are gonna be straight. I just pulled this model up because it was a nice narrow arch I wanted to show to kind of exaggerate that. Move your pads close to that higher spot to keep that from happening. But anyway, I think you kind of get the point. Let me change this so that, oh, come on, why am I, oh yeah. Jeez, I so rarely use, MeshMixer anymore. I forgot it got locked. So anyway, you can see the space, and I mean, I know my hygienist started to like this a whole lot more. A little bit easier to clean rather than have it in the embrasures. Now, is it better? Is it worse? I don't know. Again, I've not done this in a patient's mouth, so I can't say this is an awesome technique. I just want to show you kind of how you can do it. Now, if you want to smooth these off a little bit, that's fine. We can go ahead and do that. I'm going to hit select, double click, double click, double click. Now, I didn't just hit Control All because I don't want to smooth the undersides, the sides that are in contact with the teeth. I want to leave those nice and intimate. And so now I can come over to Deform, Smooth, and there we go. We've got this nice, smooth, pretty looking thing. If I had made it thinner, if I'd made it, half a millimeter or 3/4 millimeter. It'd be even more round. Whatever. I mean, polish the roundness off. I mean, I can't. I toyed around with this. I've only done this one time, you know, because I was making that video. I don't. Yeah, there you go. I knew there was a way to. So if you adjust the smoothing scale to there, now you've got it even nice and smoother, however you want. So anyway, hopefully this technique is helpful. Again, if you did have, let's just do something, and you can stop watching now. If this is all you needed, go ahead and stop watching. If you want to see how to add a tooth to this little guy, so you could have a a missing lateral tooth, lateral incisor. Let me go ahead and let me pause this for just a second. Okay, I'm back. So all I did was hit OK, and then I brought in another copy of this model just so I could quickly make another denture tooth. So lots of different ways to do this, but let's just pretend this is the tooth. So I'm going to hit select. Let's just go ahead and use the lasso. I'll try to do this quickly. And there we go. So there's a tooth. We can go ahead and, let me see, hit B to smooth that out. And let's go ahead and hit Y. And now we can hide this. We've got this tooth. Let's go ahead and do a couple little bridges here. This is, right here is not something you're going to, be doing for this video because you'd already had the denture tooth or you'd watch that video. And Shift B or Control B. Sorry, I'm trying to do this quickly. Saturday night. Control B to bridge these. Accept. Here, here. Bridge is also under Edit, Bridge, but Control B does it. I still have this selected. Let me see if I can. There you go. Hit accept, and now I can go ahead and just let's just heal these. Oop, I don't want flat. Smooth. Auto repair all. There we go. And let's go ahead and just real quickly smooth these out. If you were, in that other video, it shows you how to make a copied tooth. So let's pretend that this isn't the tooth we're missing. We're actually missing the tooth on the other side. Well, then there you go. We're just making a copy, and you could use the sculpt tools to improve that. But let's just pull this back up. Here's your retainer with the tooth. And honestly, there's so many ways to do this, but you could try to combine them, but I don't really recommend it. Or sorry, you can try to make them solid, but what I would honestly do is I would just say this guy and this guy, let's just go ahead and combine them. Now they're technically one STL, even though there's two different objects here, your printing software is going to recognize it as one object. The only time it would have an issue really is if you're like using an FDM printer, which you wouldn't do for this. So there's no reason to hit combine or like, let's just see. Oops, not that one. This one and this one. Come on. If you hit union, it's gonna recalculate everything. I think this is gonna be a disaster. And it's even turned it red because they're in the exact same space. It does not like that. So yeah, don't do that. Just hit combine, make your life easy, and this will print right here. So now you've got your, your tooth, or let's hide that one. Let's say, all right. So now you've got your, your retainer with this ponic tooth that you could have floating there during healing and whatnot. I don't know how strong it's going to be. You maybe make these bridges a little bit stronger here to give yourself a little bit more, a more rigid connection. Play around with it. This is just, kind of off the cuff idea. So anyway, way longer, 15-minute long video. I did not mean to make it so long, but hopefully this helps someone out there. All right, thanks guys. You guys have a great night. And check out my other videos or subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want. I try to put out content, not all the time, but usually when I have a good idea or I think it's a good idea, I try to put out new videos. So BaronGrutterDDS.com is my website, and this is obviously my YouTube channel. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful night.